Right now, on to the point. Fast-moving fires. Hundreds evacuated as flames race toward homes. We're live with the firefight underway tonight.
Strong wind gusts and a red flag warning in place where we're seeing the most critical fire danger.
The search underway for a man who may know why two unhoused people were shot minutes apart. One was killed. Plus, on this high fire danger day,
he loved those dogs, so why it's special.
Why one organization needs your help tonight, finding a home for these two Caldor fire survivors. This is To the Point, and I'm Alex Bell. Firefighters are very busy tonight with flames racing toward homes in these very windy conditions. The ABC 10 Weather Impact Team is calling today a Weather Impact Alert Day. Take a look at these videos out of the Bay Area. This is in the Oakland Hills tonight. At least 10 homes are damaged and hundreds of people were told to evacuate earlier. And fire officials say they are now going through the neighborhood to see if it's safe for residents to return to their homes. Some high school sports games have been canceled in the area. Lanes were even shut down on westbound 580. In Solano County tonight, we have ABC 10's Paul Senga. He is live at the Hay Fire. Hundreds of acres have burned in this fire in the Vacaville area. Paul, what are you seeing around you as crews now have the upper hand on this fire, right?
Yeah, Alex, things are looking a lot better at this hour than they did just a few hours ago. Right now, crews are in that mop-up phase, making sure they put out any of the hot spots, but you can see crews out there in the distance. And so this is private property. This is the closest we can get, but they have stopped that fire from advancing any further. But as you can hear from my microphone, the winds have been a concern in this area, especially the wind gust. And that is why crews breathing a sigh of relief, because this is the main area, west side of the Sacramento Valley, that has been experiencing those high wind gusts, which prompted the red flag warnings as the fuels in the area are dry. And so that hay fire started this afternoon around 1. It burned about 869 acres. Currently, it's about 20% contained. And at one point, structures were threatened, but fire crews did a great job of eventually stopping this fire as the wind gusts and the dry conditions were not on their side. But the good news is, because of the red flag warning event and the heightened fire danger, CAL FIRE did increase staffing across the state. And so we don't know exactly how this fire started, but CAL FIRE is asking people to be careful. The activity that you do outdoors, kind of prevent that during this red flag warning event. Also, never park on dry grass or mow on dry grass. So luckily, great news here. The fire crew's just hoping that the winds can work in their favor, but great news here as this fire did not cause too much damage. Reporting live in Solano County, Paul Senga, ABC 10.
Paul, thank you so much. And the ABC 10 Weather Impact Team is calling today a Weather Impact Alert Day. Carly Gomez is tracking the latest fire conditions for us tonight.
Yeah, we still have the dry, gusty conditions lasting for another Weather Impact Alert Day for your Saturday. In fact, the area actually where Paul is right now is expected to actually intensify into our overnight early morning hours as a lot of these wind gusts begin to shift toward the west. So the coastal range areas where Fairfield, Vacaville are and north are expected to see a lot more of the strong wind gusts still into tomorrow. Now, what we're also expecting to see is that the wind gusts could reach as high as 45 to 55 miles per hour, especially in those foothill spots. Dry fire weather and difficult driving conditions. A lot of debris on the roadways as well. And the power shutoffs are also still possible into Saturday and may even linger as late as Sunday, depending on where you are. Now, Solano County, one of the hot spots here. You see the funneling in of the winds here. The current winds 15 miles per hour in the valley. But take a look at this. Our peak wind gusts today were around 25 to 35 miles per hour. But we are expecting a lot of that to begin shifting over into the coastal range spots into our overnight early morning hours. Current humidity is down to about 13 to 20% in the valley, 9% around Fairfield, where Paul Senga is right now, and the red flag warning until 5 p.m. on Saturday. Now, we are expecting to see temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s with much calmer conditions Sunday. We'll talk more about what to expect for the rest of your weekend coming up.
Thanks, Carly. And take a look at your screen right now. If you're on your phone or cooking dinner, just please take a look at your screen, because these are all of the PG&E areas that are marked with purple triangles. Those people are experiencing power outages. Thousands of people are impacted across 24 counties, including Solano and Yolo counties. Power may still be off in these areas until tomorrow, so make sure that you stay on top of that. And during these shutoffs, PG&E reminds people to check that outage map, and there are community resource centers for people who need snacks, water, or just a place to even charge your phone. And we found people using generators in Solano County today. This was about 10 miles away from the hay fire where we just were. Those we spoke to today say that they understand why the power shutoffs need to happen, saying it's the best thing to do in order to prevent fires from sparking. And out at the Golden Sky Country Music Festival that's underway in Sacramento's Discovery Park this weekend, organizers are making adjustments for the high winds that we're seeing, saying that safety remains their top priority and their temporary structures are being reinforced and people need to be prepared in case those winds do pick up. Tonight, the search is underway for a person of interest in a homicide investigation after 2 unhoused men were shot in Ceres. One of those men did die from his injuries. The shootings happened near Hatch Road and the Ceres Main Canal. Law enforcement says they are looking for a 5'7" man with dark hair and dark clothing. Homeless advocates say the shootings should serve as a call to action to get people a safe place to sleep. As we continue to track the fire danger tonight, local organizations and community groups are prepared to support anyone who might have to evacuate, and that includes housing animals during disastrous situations. Tonight, ABC 10's Becca Hobegger shows us how one shelter has been doing the work during a recent major fire and now needs help closing an emotional chapter for a Caldor fire survivor.
During the last fire, we had to use some of this building as overflow because taking in 150 animals, we were at max capacity plus.
Craig Hall is manager and chief of El Dorado County Animal Services, which not only takes strays and surrenders, but also temporarily houses the pets of wildfire evacuees.
During the last fire, we took in 150 over 48 hours, and fortunately that fire was contained pretty quickly, so they all were gone home within probably a week.
The situation was much different during the Caldor fire, which started mid-August 2021, as some people were evacuated for months.
I know we had around 150 dogs. I don't know the exact numbers, and 300 cats. The whole building was full of cats. We had exotic birds.
Marianne Can has been volunteering here for 9 years.
What keeps you coming back?
The success stories. There's some, and I'll cry about that.
She hopes to see success for 2 dogs named Bentley and Gale.
Bentley and Gale are very special dogs to us because we have known them since 2021 when they came in originally during the Caldor fire.
Caitlin Light is on staff here and says the dog's owner lost his Grizzly Flats home in the fire.
He lost everything.
The dog stayed here for about 2.5 months until the man was able to return to his property. The shelter, with help from donors, connected him with temporary kennels so the dogs could return too. But sadly, the dogs are back at the shelter. The owner died this past July. The shelter declined to share details out of respect for his privacy.
He loved those dogs, so why it's special.
Do you guys want to go for a walk?
Even before the Caldor fire, Bentley had an old injury to his leg. When he returned to the shelter, the injury had worsened. So the staff made the decision to amputate his leg to ultimately save Bentley's life and keep him and Gale together.
Good job.
They're a bonded pair.
They need their forever home. It would just be nice for that to happen for them.
They need their forever home. Becca, if someone is watching this and they want to meet them, what should they know?
Well, you know what, Alex? There is some good news because tomorrow, El Dorado County Animal Services is holding a 10-year anniversary celebration. They've been in that beautiful facility for a decade now. The celebration runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at that location in Diamond Springs. Anyone interested in meeting Bentley and Gale or any of the other dogs, cats, even guinea pigs and a rooster right now available for adoption can stop by and see them. Now, most animals do have an associated adoption fee. So if you want to help, you can also donate to the shelter to help fund those fees and pay for those important surgeries some animals need before they can be adopted.
And look, we're hoping to do a follow-up story that they find their forever home. So please, if you're interested, make sure that you reach out. And Becca, thank you so much for bringing us this story.
My pleasure.
All right, still ahead after the break. Snow already. What are weather impact alert days just delivered to the Sierra?
A red flag warning and strong wind gusts continuing into your Saturday with temperatures dropping tonight into those mid to low 50s. We'll let you know what to expect tomorrow and for the rest of the weekend coming up.
And later on the back roads, the one-of-a-kind family-run corn maze getting better every year. Take a look at this video. It just snowed in the Sierra. These are videos and pictures from Palisades, Tahoe. They saw 2 inches of new snow on the upper mountain. It's also cold enough for them to start running their snowmakers. Opening day, November 27th. Mark your calendars. But here in the valley, we got some dangerous weather conditions, still very dangerous. We are tracking a weather impact alert day. I want to hand things over to Carly because we're going to see very dry and windy conditions.
Yeah, and that's leading to fire concerns as we've seen now. We've seen a couple of those fires breaking out this afternoon. And what we're going to expect here is that weather impact alert tonight through Saturday. The impact for you is that we're going to start to see a fire weather concern continuing into your Saturday. Now, the need, stay alert. Please, whatever you do, especially driving, as you're seeing a lot of cars swaying in and out of the area, strong wind gusts. They are northerly, so if you're driving east or west direction, you're going to feel that northerly wind. Also, we are concerned for down power lines or the potential for those to cause sparks. So just make sure you're alert. As I'm speaking, I'm listening to a fire truck driving by. So just those kind of things that are at play right now. When the strong winds happen and any spark happens, you want to be ready to go as soon as possible. The red flag warning is in effect until 5 p.m. Saturday. That is running all the way down to Modesto and along the coastline down into the central coast. Now, we're looking at strong wind gusts anywhere from 20 to 25 miles per hour in the valley tonight. But take a look. This begins to shift over as we move into Saturday morning, 5 a.m. You're seeing that shift into the coastal range spots, getting pretty intense there. 40 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts may even be possible, as you can see that north of Fairfield. Meanwhile, the valley starts at least the approach to seeing much lighter winds into our Saturday. So that'll be a good thing for a lot of us in the valley, especially I-599 corridor, but still very strong for the Sierra. If you had plans to head up there, just expect we are looking at strong wind gusts throughout the day. And this is going to be in effect again until 5 p.m. before we start seeing actual slowdown of those winds. And that's all because of the high pressure in place that's funneling it in from the north. Now, temperature-wise, will be nice. Upper 70s to low 80s for most of the week. In fact, things do calm down by Sunday with 70s and 80s into next week.
Next, on to the point, a dead heat in the race for the White House, the state the candidates' eyes are on tonight. And we take the back roads to a one-of-a-kind corn maze where a family's creativity is only getting better every year. Tonight in Your Voice, Your Vote, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are both in Michigan today, a state that many Democrats once considered safe territory for their party. Trump going on the offensive while Harris looks to shore up her base. Rachel Bade reports tonight.
Vice President Kamala Harris descending on Michigan today, hoping to woo voters on the fence.
This election is truly about 2 very different visions for our nation. Ours, that is focused on the future. Donald Trump's, that is focused on the past.
Harris planning to huddle with faith leaders in Detroit and union leaders in Lansing. The swing through the Wolverine state coming as Harris tries to stem the bleeding with young Black and young Latino men, a portion who are now turning to Donald Trump. Trump also back in Michigan today, going straight to Detroit, hoping to continue peeling off Harris's support from Black men.
We're going to have a good tour today of Detroit and other places. I hear we're leading in Michigan, we're leading in Pennsylvania.
And ginning up his base, the ex-president doubling down on male voters, appearing this morning on an ex-wrestling champions podcast. The segment entitled, Manhood is Under Attack.
One thing we need in this country is we need a father figure again. We need husbands and boyfriends and young men we need to see that fathers are capable of great things, because we've dealt with it, especially in the last 3.5 years, right, a complete dismemberment of what it is to be a man. We're under attack for everything.
We are. Well, actually, manhood is under attack.
Yeah.
Trump also dismissing media reports that he's canceled interviews due to exhaustion.
What event did I cancel? I haven't canceled. She doesn't go to any events. She's a loser.
Harris seizing on the reporting to question his fitness for office.
Well, if you are exhausted on the campaign trail, it raises real questions about whether you are fit for the toughest job in the world.
Singers Lizzo and Usher will join Harris in Michigan this week, as well as Georgia. And next time she's in Michigan, she'll have even more influential endorsements, the Obamas. Rachel Bade, ABC News, Washington.
And if you missed it last night, Sacramento's mayoral candidates We're on ABC 10 answering questions about the city's top issues. You can stream Sacramento's Future, the candidates for mayor, right now on the ABC 10 Plus app. Every Friday, you already know, ABC 10's John Bartell takes us on the back roads. Tonight, John heads to the Central Valley to get lost in a corn maze.
Every October, something strange happens in the Central Valley town of Lathrop. Like a page out of a Stephen King novel, children from all over California make their way into the corn. They're drawn to this field not because of evil spirits, but because they want to conquer one of California's most elaborately designed corn mazes.
What happens if someone gets lost in here?
Well, you know, the big joke is that we'll just get you out in the morning.
Welcome to Del Oso Farm, the pioneers of corn maze development.
We were one of the very first corn mazes in the nation, actually.
Since 1997, Susan Del Oso and her husband Ron have been transforming this cornfield into challenging themed mazes.
It's about 15 acres and it has 2 mazes in it, and this year we're honoring the 75th anniversary of Peanuts. So you'll see Snoopy on his doghouse.
Coming up with the elaborate designs is the easy part. Getting those designs onto a cornfield, well, it's another story.
Do you guys just have like a giant lawnmower to make this maze? Or?
No, you know, people always assume that we cut it down when the corn is tall, but it doesn't work that way.
Susan says shaping the maze actually starts in July when the corn is just a few inches tall.
When the corn's very small, we mark out the maze and then we hoe it down. So we're just removing very small pieces of corn.
Today, Del Oso Farm uses GPS to plot and paint out the shape of the maze, but when they first started, they used graph paper and tape measures to map out the coordinates.
It was very cumbersome, and we never knew if the design was accurate until we would get an aerial shot.
Of course, the corn maze brought in big crowds, but the heart of the operation was pumpkins.
Can you help me pick a pumpkin?
Del Oso Family Farm was founded in the 1920s by 3 brothers from Italy who started farming asparagus. But then in the 1950s, Susan's father-in-law, Rudy, started growing pumpkins.
And at that time, we were one of the 5 growers of pumpkins in this area. So there was 5 of us who basically grew all the pumpkins for the West Coast.
Pumpkins are still grown on Del Oso Farm today, but the family has shifted their focus to what they call agritourism.
We are one of the top agritourism operations in the nation.
The property is essentially a farming-themed amusement park that allows kids to learn and play with food grown right here in the valley.
Did you eat this at all? No? Pretty sour. You want to chew it for me? Okay. There you go!
There's more than 30 different activities on the farm, including a petting zoo, a carousel, and this rather strange-looking tube called a rat roller. Yeah, there's a little something for everyone.
From the corn maze at Del Oso Family Farm, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the back roads. Where am I? Hello?
Happy to report John Bartell did make it back to work. On the other side of the break, a look at what the ABC 10 Weather Impact Team is investigating. Welcome back. California is home to more than 3,000 lakes, and their health is in jeopardy. Over the past several months, the ABC 10 Weather Impact Team traveled the state looking at the impacts of algae and bacteria and what's being done to stop the threat. Take a look.
Toxic algae and bacteria.
It's caused massive fish kills.
Fueled by a changing climate.
We've lost a lot of businesses. We've got businesses trying to cope and change.
California's most popular lakes in danger.
Now you can see some of the cyanobacteria over by the docks.
What can be done to stop the threat?
Unless we make subtle changes, our kids won't have the ability to change things back.
This is California's Dying Lakes, an ABC 10 Weather Impact Team investigation.
And the ABC 10 Weather Impact Team's series California's Dying Lakes premieres starting on Monday right here on ABC 10. As always, thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. If you have something we should be looking into, make sure to reach out to me and the team. And To the Point does not end here. You can always stream our free ABC 10 Plus app wherever you get your streaming. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.